guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a dupe video. So I'm going to be duping some popular makeup products on the market, expensive versus inexpensive. You're going to be shook because I got some good dupes in here. And this is going to be kind of like a mini wear test. After I'm done, I'll show you guys a clip of how the makeup looks at the end of the day and how similar everything is. So keep watching. Okay, so the first items we're gonna go ahead and start off with is a lip balm. So I'm gonna be using the new e.l.f. lip balms. These are the Ride or Die lip balms on this side, I guess. And then we're gonna be using the Summer Fridays one on this side. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on the back of my finger like that. And then I love a good lip balm. As you guys can see, the packaging is very, very similar. I think that there is, does it tell me how much product? Okay. There is 0.42 ounces in the e.l.f. one, and then there is 0.5 ounces. So there's a little bit more in the Summer Fridays one than in the e.l.f. one, but the e.l.f. one's only $5. This one I want to say is like 20 bucks. So let's go ahead and apply this here. Honestly, guys, I feel like the e.l.f. one is very similar. I feel like the Summer Friday ones is a little bit more runny. The e.l.f. one is a little bit more like a good in-place consistency, which I personally like that consistency of like staying in place. So those are the lip balms. Definitely consider that if you're looking into this Summer Fridays ones. The e.l.f. one, very, very affordable, and they also come in different colors. So if you like a little bit more of a tint, and like let's say you don't want much makeup, but you like a little bit of tint on your lips, you'll definitely love the e.l.f. one. So now we're gonna go ahead and do our primer. So I used to be a very big fan of the Becca Matte Poreless Primer. This is a really matte primer. If you have very oily skin, definitely check this one out. But I have recently discovered the Makeup Revolution one, and you guys know Makeup Revolution is very affordable. This one is honestly very similar to the Becca one. So I'm gonna apply Becca on the expensive side. You have to warm it up with your fingers because it is one of those consistencies that like immediately absorbs the oils. So what I like to do is I like to kind of dab it on the skin, because if I swipe too much, it can start to separate a little bit because it's just such a tacky consistency. And you guys can see right away, it just blurs out any shininess that you may have. This primer, definitely do recommend it to people that have very, very oily skin. This is a really good product. The Becca one, it is more expensive. If you guys don't have that oily of a skin, it's not gonna be the one for you, trust me. So that's where the Makeup Revolution comes in. So this is much more affordable. But the cool thing about this one is that it does the same exact thing, but I feel like it's a more lightweight, jelly-like consistency. It's also clear, which you guys can see. And I feel like this one mattifies you. But the cool thing about it is that it is a very subtle form, and you don't have to worry about only tapping it because it's gonna dry out your face. This one, you can definitely go in and just blend it, and it starts to smooth everything out, but also do a really good job of mattifying it. Makeup Revolution has such good products for the face. Like their foundations are some of my absolute favorites from the drugstore. I always rave about the Conceal and Define. It is so beautiful. And with this, you can really rub it in. So if let's say you have oily skin, but it's not so oily, or let's say you have certain areas of the face that are very oily and other areas are very dry, this primer will work much better than using something like the Becca one, because the Becca one is definitely more so for the person that has just a very, very oily skin all around. Now that we have that, we're gonna move on to brows. So for brows, you guys know the drill. If you guys watch my channel, I am obsessed with the Benefit Precisely My Brow. This is what I always use to do my brows. This one is in the shade number 5, and you guys know, I wanna say this is like 20 something dollars, $21 maybe, but I'm literally almost out of it, and I'm like, $21 that I don't wanna spend. I just literally follow the brow, really into that more like natural brow. We have one brow done with the Benefit Precisely My Brow, and I recently discovered this brow pencil. This is the affordable one from the brand Joa. You can find this at CVS. It is a Korean brand, and what I like about this, of course, is such huge packaging. It kind of reminds you of the whole vibe of like Benefit Cosmetics, how they like do really cute packaging. It has the pencil side, and it also has a spoolie. One thing with drugstore pencils that I sometimes struggle with is a lot of them that are really good don't have spoolies. It's just like the pencil. So it's nice to see when a brand adds a little spoolie on the back. This one is in the shade Ebony. So it's very precise, like the Precisely My Brow. This is my work in progress brow. They look just very similar. The colors are pretty much the same. They both have spoolies and they both are very, very precise. So you can find this alternative at the drugstore. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to foundation. So we have our Too Faced Born This Way Matte Edition, the newest addition to the Too Faced Born This Way family. But Mama found a dupe for this. So let's go ahead and do it. So first I'm gonna start off with this, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and pump out some foundation using this. This is in the color Sand, in case you guys are wondering. So I'm gonna be using an It Cosmetics brush. This is the number 702. It Cosmetics has some of the most amazing brushes. They are more pricey. They're definitely expensive brushes, but they're definitely worth your money. So I'm gonna be using this on the high-end side, and then I'm gonna be using an inexpensive one on my dupe side. But let's go ahead and apply this foundation, and you guys can see, you guys know this foundation is a very beautiful consistency. It's not a matte foundation. I would say it's more so of a soft matte. I feel like any skin type can wear this foundation. So this is the high-end side with the Born This Way, and I'm sure you guys are probably like, what is the dupe? So this is the dupe. This is the dupe. I have to say, it's literally the same foundation. You guys are about to see, like, the consistency is exactly the same. This is the matte one. This isn't the dewy one. This is the original one that they came out with. And then for the dupe brush, we're gonna be using this one by e.l.f. This is the Ultimate Blending Brush. You guys can see they're very similar. They're like really good blender kabuki brushes, but they're not flat top. So they kind of have a little bit of like a dip in here, which you guys can see. Very similar. This one is very affordable, and this is obviously the more high-end one. So if you're looking for a dupe for a good quality It Cosmetics brushes, the e.l.f. ones are just as good. So let's go ahead and go in with this foundation. So this one by Wet n Wild, the photo finish is in Desert Beige, and like I mentioned, this is the matte consistency. The consistencies in these foundations is very similar. So they're not super thick, either or. They're like just the right amount of creaminess, but still leaves your skin looking like a soft matte. Like guys, it's the same foundation, so similar. The only difference is the color by like a little bit. It's not even that much, it's literally by a little bit. I'm not even joking. Like when I saw this, I literally could not, like I was like, Wet n Wild Photo Focus for the Too Faced foundation, the new one, the matte one. Now I think we're gonna move on to the eyes first, because I do wanna do concealer after I do both of the eyes. For palettes, I have these two babies right here. So this is the Maybelline Nudes of New York for our dupe, and then this is the Too Faced Born This Way palette. Look at that. That is so similar, right? Very, very similar color schemes, very wearable. I feel like for the everyday person, these are great. I'm gonna start off with the brown shades. So I'm using Cocoa. Actually, no, that's not Cocoa, that's Cacao. And I'm gonna be placing that all over. Then I'm gonna go in with Truffle right here. This is such a beautiful palette. The Born This Way palette. I feel like it's just very wearable, especially if you like those like neutral tones. I also feel like you can never go wrong with a good neutral palette, but sometimes the price point can just be a little too much for us. So maybe if you've been eyeing this Too Faced Born This Way palette, you may wanna consider my dupe that I'm about to do in just a second. You guys can see how this whole situation works. So I'm literally just keeping it tightly on the crease because I want to add a lot of depth in there. Okay, so now we're going to be going in with Sparkling Sand right here, and we're going to be applying that onto our lid. I have to say these shimmers are very, very nice and buttery. So we have that. Now we're going to go back in with Truffle, and we are going to just warm up this edge and start to kind of wrap things up on this outer edge. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the Maybelline Nudes of New York palette. I'm first gonna be starting off with the shade Creator, and I'm gonna be applying that the way that I applied that other shade from Too Faced. And I'm gonna be going in with the brown, which is called Self Starter, and we're gonna be placing that mainly right here, just to kind of add that depth into the sockets of the crease. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with Dreamer, and we're just gonna apply that And Dreamer is very, very pigmented. Yeah, I feel like it's more pigmented than the Too Faced one. Like, I feel like I need to go back in with the Too Faced one and add more pigment. Oh, this side looks like it's, like the quality is just better, the shimmer. Okay, so now we're gonna go back in with Self Starter and do the same thing we did on the other side and just kind of wrap this look up. I have 2 concealers. So my high-end one is the Born This Way, obviously. And then for the dupe, I have the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite one. So let's go ahead and start off with this one by Too Faced Born This Way. And we're just gonna go ahead and apply this right here. I like to pair the Too Faced concealer with the foundation because I just feel like it works really well together and it just gives like such a good look. You guys see how much of a difference that makes? I swear, sharpening up that edge is like everything. I'm just using my Beauty Bakery Flour Powder in the shade Translucent Oats. I don't have a dupe for this specific powder, but what I can say is if you're looking for a really inexpensive powder that competes with a lot of high-end powders, I would definitely recommend the Airspun Powder by Coty. You can never go wrong with that powder. It's literally like amazing. Okay, so now we're going in with the Infinite Concealer, which very similar on the outside, and also this, like the doe foot applicators are nice, big, and jumbo and fat for both of them, which is great. This one, I love it because it is a full coverage, but it's also very creamy like the Too Faced Born This Way one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it right here. This one is a little bit more neutral. I feel like the Too Faced one is a little bit more yellow, but honestly, when it comes to the consistency of both of them, they're very similar. They have like kind of this nice tacky consistency, and they're also both very full coverage. They last all day long, and they blend super well into the skin. Makeup Revolution I have in C8, the shade, and then in the Too Faced one I have it in neutral beige. So you guys can see it's literally pretty much the same color actually. And I'm just using my Araceli sponge, Bella sponge by Araceli Beauty. It is literally so good, $14. Definitely a dupe for Beauty Blender. You gotta support your Latina owned brand. It's funny because even the foundation shades are pretty similar. The Desert Beige by Wet n Wild and then the Sand by Too Faced is pretty much the same thing. A little tip for you guys. I don't know if you guys can see. So this is the affordable side with the Makeup Revolution concealer and powder on. This is the side with Too Faced concealer. You guys can see it's separating a little bit and enhancing my pores just in that area. So, I mean, this side looks way more perfected, doesn't it? Now I want to mention another product. I don't have the high-end version because I actually threw it away recently because I'd run out of it. But I've mentioned this many times. I believe that the KKW Beauty Contour Sticks dupe is this Wet n Wild contour stick. If you guys haven't tried out the Wet n Wild contour stick, you need to check it out. It is literally like $5 at CVS, and it is pretty much the same thing as the KKW Beauty ones. I have tried the KKW Beauty ones, like I mentioned before. It's expensive compared to this for $8, or I think $5 it is. And it's literally the same exact thing when it comes to the consistency of it. Highly recommend this. So because I don't have the KKW one, and I didn't feel like purchasing it at Ulta for 30 something right now, I'm gonna just stick to this and show you how it's done. But still, like if I can save you guys some money in certain products, I definitely will do my part. Okay, so now that we have done that, we're gonna move on to highlight. So I have a good highlight dupe, and I've mentioned this before, but I'm gonna mention in this video because I definitely do think it's an amazing dupe. So we have here the Anastasia Resi collab. So you guys know this is one of the top sellers from Anastasia. They absolutely did that with Resi. The highlighter is so beautiful. I love the texture and consistency of it. It almost looks like it's wet, and it just gives you the prettiest glow. So I'm just gonna lightly dab it because I don't want too intense of a highlighter right here. I just want it to be very light. So we're gonna go like that. And I feel like with that one, less is more, especially nowadays. I'm not really into like super intense highlight, but I do like a little bit of a glow in there to kind of bring back some life into my face, especially when I do wear matte foundations. Now, for the dupe. So this is the Cookie Cosmetics highlighter in Heavenly. This is one of my ride or dies. This consistency, you guys can see, is pretty much the same as the Resi one. It looks like it's wet. It looks like it's like pillowy. Like I don't even know how to describe it, but like you guys can see the consistencies look so similar and they perform so well on the face. And you guys can see I literally use this all the time. It just gives you the prettiest wet look. It's just so stunning. Definitely recommend the Kokie Cosmetics Heavenly Highlighter. It is so good. It is one of my favorite highlighters of all time. You can definitely look at all the shades that they do have. I do have a coupon code with Kokie Cosmetics. If you go purchase on their website, it is the Mex Beauty, and you get 25% off your entire order, which is amazing because Kokie Cosmetics is already affordable, so you just get a better deal. Now we're gonna move on to our lip. So I wanna quickly mention a few dupes that I found. The first one is we have Fenty Beauty, our high-end lip gloss. It is this beautiful clear gloss, and I found a dupe for it. It is from Joa, the same brand as the eyebrow pencil, which you can find at CVS. So we have that. Then it's funny because you guys mentioned a while ago how the new e.l.f. sheer lipsticks compare to the Fenty Beauty slip shines, and honestly guys, I found a dupe one. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you guys. So this one is an Orange Crush. It's a very beautiful summery shade. And I was like, this reminds me a lot of, which one is this one? This one is Tang Fang, and it's literally the same and it feels the same. Like it feels so similar on the lips. This one is a little bit more orangey by Fenty Beauty than this one, but literally they're the same exact formula, and on the lips they look like the same exact shape. So we have that, but today I don't want to go with these. I just wanted to show you these, the e.l.f. ones. I do have to say the only difference is that the e.l.f. ones, it's a little bit more of like pops of color. They need a little bit more neutrals, and I feel like if they had more neutrals it would be like perfect dupe, because I feel like a lot of these people tend to shy away from them because I feel like they're very bright colors. Unless you're very into bright colors, you may not look at these and be like, oh my god, that could be something I wear. Today, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to actually line the lips with 2 lip liners. So this is the high-end one. This is from Patrick Ta. So we have that. And then we have this one, which is our dupe from the Lip Bar in Straight Lovin'. So you guys can see, I feel like I like Straight Lovin' way more than She's Proud, because I feel like Proud's a little tiny bit muted, but the consistency of both lip liners is pretty much the same. Really nice and creamy products. They just slide on really well. And I think right now, the Lip Bar is just killing it with their lip product, but I'm always wearing this lip liner. It is vegan, cruelty-free. The Lip Bar Straight Loving is my jam. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the Fenty Beauty Clear Gloss at the top, so you guys can see. I wanted to find something that was equally as clear, and that's when I found the Joa one. And look, it's literally the same thing. You guys can see. And I feel like sometimes when you go in with like a bold eye, sometimes it's fun to just do that like light lip moment. Now we're gonna move on to the final products, which I'm sure you guys are really excited for me to be duping, and that is setting sprays. So we have here the new e.l.f. setting spray. This is the Stay All Night Microfine Mist, up to 16 hours. This is the Urban Decay Traditional All-Nighter 16-Hour Mist. I want to see how these perform against each other. This one is $42. This one is $10. Here you get 2.7 ounces, and here in this one you get 4 ounces. Now, the mini size of this has 1 ounce, and it does retail for $15, so still more expensive than this, and you still get more product in this than the mini size of this one, just so you guys know. So I'm gonna start off with Urban Decay one. I always do test run, and we're gonna be applying it on the side where we have high-end makeup. And then we are going to go ahead and go in with the e.l.f. one. This does have green tea, cucumber, and aloe, which is known to nourish the skin. You guys know aloe is great for nourishing the skin, especially with flare-ups and stuff like that. Cucumber is really great for cooling the skin and soothing the skin. And then green tea is really good for like just regenerating the skin. Okay, that was not supposed to happen. Okay, we're gonna do this side. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. Wow, and it's very, very fine. It's more fine than the Urban Decay one. It feels like this nice cooling sensation. It literally feels really good. It's like a refresher. Really impressed with this so far. You guys can see the face literally looks like we have the same exact products on both sides. So now what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna wear this for the entire day. I'm gonna come back and give you guys like last minute impressions on how this wears. I will see you guys later for final thoughts and that good check-in that will kind of show us what's what, you know? So I am back right now. It is 7:48 p.m., pretty much 8 p.m. And I just wanted to give you guys a check-in. Both sides look so similar. It is insane. It is insane how similar these products look to one another. To be honest, I feel like the finish that I'm getting from the Wet n Wild one is a lot better for people that do have oily skin, because you guys can see this is looking still completely in place, as opposed to this side where we went in the Too Faced Born This Way matte. It does look a little bit more radiant. I feel like one hidden gem that I haven't seen anybody really talk about is the Makeup Revolution mattifying primer. This primer, I mean, look at this. It looks stunning. The last thing I do want to mention is that the Too Faced Born This Way eyeshadow up here is like separating a little bit on my crease. On this side where we went in with the Maybelline one, it's like perfectly in place. You know what? I forgot to mention one more thing. Setting sprays. You guys are probably wondering, ooh, I'm effing up today. You guys are probably wondering, which one do you recommend? Honestly, guys, this one impressed me so much. And as you guys can see, everything's still really nice in place. Both did pretty good, honestly. So if you have purchased the Urban Decay and perhaps you're running low and you're like, oh, I don't want to spend that much money on it, is there an alternative? This new e.l.f. one is definitely an alternative for the All Nighter by Urban Decay, because this is really good stuff. The mist is so fine. It smells so great. It doesn't cause my skin, very sensitive skin, to have any irritation, which is always a plus. Times are tough, so it's really nice to find really affordable priced items. So thank you again for watching. If you don't know, my name is Jessica and I make videos on all things beauty. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and become a member of my family here on YouTube, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss my videos for the world. While you're at it, make sure you hit that notification bell, because that will make sure that you are always notified as soon as I upload. I don't want to miss an upload here because I got you guys covered on all things beauty. So that being said, stay safe, stay blessed, stay beautiful. I'll be seeing you guys very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.